Hello, it's me, Brendan Burns, aka Rowdy Roughman from YouTube, of course. And earlier I did my three packages of showing you what I got in the mail. And this film, I'm going to do a Blu-ray review because I already saw this film before, but I haven't seen it in a while, and I really wanted to do this review. And it's FrankenHooker from 1990. A terrifying tale of sluts and bolts. Even Bill Murray, like I said, Bill Murray loved this movie. He said, if you only see one movie this year, it should be FrankenHooker. It's about this scientist guy kid. He looks like in his 20s, but he's some kind of mad scientist, I guess you can say. Starring James Lorinz. He's he's engaged to this girl Elizabeth, played by Patty Mullen. And at the beginning of the movie, they're having a birthday party for her dad, and what was his name again? Oh yeah, Jeffrey. That was his character's name, Jeffrey. But anyway, Jeffrey, he gets her dad a present. He invents this cool lawnmower, but she accidentally stands in front of it, and it kills her. And he collects some of the body parts, and he keeps her in this freezer because he's a little crazy. Well, all mad scientists are crazy. Let's be honest. But he wants to bring her back from the dead because this movie is really based on Frankenstein, kind of. But he gets all his money and he goes out and finds hookers. He's trying to decide what size. He's trying to get the right size for the body parts, I guess. So he sees this pimp named Zorro. I like Zorro's character. He's a '80s kind of pimp. Mustache, muscular muscles, and So he has like 4 or 5, 10 hookers, whatever, in one room, but they get impatient with him and they want the money so badly. So he gives them the money. He gets upset because he's not doing this for sex. He's doing this for science. But while he gives them the money, they find this. They think it's drugs. I don't know what it was, but they all take it and they all explode. And Jeffrey, he does feel guilty, but he kidnap. He steals some of the body parts, takes them back to his laboratory in his house or his mom's house because he still lives with his mama. In one scene we see his mom, but anyway, so he cuts up. Well, they're already cut up, but he puts the bodies together. Her head and I know he has the head. He's got 1 foot, 1 hand in the freezer. I'm sorry, and some fingers of Elizabeth's. But with that lightning bolt, she comes back, but she's got the mind of a hooker. She still has that brain of the other hookers who was saying early in the movie, Dr. Jeffrey wants love or Dr. Jeffrey wants sex or something like that. So she goes out on the streets. It's funny when she sees Jeffrey and doesn't remember him. She doesn't remember him, and she always says to people on the streets, and first to Jeffrey, "Do you have any money?" And when he tells her no, she slaps him. But she goes out on the streets looking for sex, like I seen in the subway when she was bending over. That kid was looking at her tits, her dead tits. Of course, all the people thought she looked strange. They didn't know she was a zombie. But there's one scene where this overweight bald guy who was looking for sex, so he decides to take Elizabeth, Frankenhooker Elizabeth, whatever you want to call her, to the same sleazy motel, not a motel, that sleazy bar where they have those upstairs apartment rooms. I guess you could call it a brothel. So they go into one room, and the fat bald guy can't wait to have sex. So he does have a little sex, but that's when the electricity from the body explodes him. But before he dies, his head says, "That was the best I ever had," or something with you. What did he? I'm sorry, hold on. I forget what his dead head said, but he said that was the best or he ever had. So she takes his money. He's already dead. His body parts are everywhere. And that one guy, in this right here after she had sex with the bald fat guy, the guy kisses FrankenHooker, and the electricity goes through his mouth, and you can see his head explodes, and it falls down out on the street on the in one of the trash cans. Nobody notices. That was so funny. But Sorrow and them, when Jeffrey goes out looking for Elizabeth, he meets these hookers on the streets, and he tells her that she's got that one of Zorro's hookers' arm. One of the hookers' arm that got died. One of the hookers who got killed earlier, the tattoo Z of Zorro. They're owned by Zorro, and when they all find out what he's talking about, they get mad because they know Zorro's hookers got killed earlier, and the other black pimp, he was what are you, a sick man? They know who he is, basically. After that incident a while ago. But when Elizabeth goes into this club, I don't know if he was black or Puerto Rican. I'm sorry, I'm not. I forget. It's hard to get nationalities right sometimes. But he was hitting on Elizabeth FrankenHooker, and while he was going down on her, he gets hit by her electricity bolts and he explodes. Bizarro, he tracks Jeffrey and Elizabeth down. No, I forget. I think Zorro was the one who punched Elizabeth in her head. It's tipped over. But Jeffrey brings her back to his house, and Zorro tracks them down, and he kills Jeffrey, and all the other body parts of the hookers come alive, and I don't know if they eat Zorro, but they kill Zorro or whatever, but they bring him back to the freezer, so I guess Zorro is dead. But Elizabeth comes back as Elizabeth, and she brings Jeffrey back to life, and the ending, oh my gosh, the ending is so funny. I'm not going to tell you what the ending is. You're going to have to figure that out for yourself if you haven't seen this. But if you have seen this, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, FrankenHooker, I saw this now twice, but I remember seeing this one time back in, I think it was 2015, when I had the satellite dish. But the first time I heard about this movie was on one of Cool Duder's videos. It was his all-time favorite films of the 90s. It was all-time favorite horror films of the 90s, and this was one of them. But it was a bootleg DVD. It wasn't a Blu-ray. Sorry, it wasn't a Blu-ray. It was a bootleg DVD that he has. But that's all I'm going to say. FrankenHooker is a good, weird, early 90s comedy / horror sci-fi adventure. And there was something that when this movie came out, it had a rating for, instead of R, it was S for sex, because there was a lot of hookers and nudity in this movie. But that's all I'm going to say. Please check this movie out if you want to. It is a great early 90s horror, sci-fi, whatever you want to call it, action, thriller, whatever. I'll say it's a dark comedy. That's what it really is, a dark comedy. But anyway, yeah, directed by Frank Henenlotter. Frank Henenlotter. Henenlotter, if I can pronounce his last name right. If I can't, I apologize. And I'm about to end this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to subscribe to my channel. You don't have to like me. You don't have to respect me. Please subscribe. I need more subscribers. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. And check out FrankenHooker from 1990. Weird, dark comedy.